No, that's not, you want positive talk to start. This is gonna be awesome! There you go. Here we go.
So there's this app called Tinder, and it's used to meet new people. I know what you guys are thinking, but you guys all have one, I know it. And I met this guy named Brandon, and Brandon lives in LA, so it was kind of far, but I was like, okay, let's talk to him. We actually clicked, and we were really cool. Like, people like sushi, like video games, so we're talking about meeting, and you know, that's kind of weird sometimes because it's a little sketchy, but we still were like kind of like confident in meeting each other. So we were just talking on my way to work and on the phone, and it was a normal day. I went into work, I got off around 9 o'clock, and I didn't really have anything to do that Friday night, so I just called my friends and we went out to get food, and they wanted to know about Brandon. So I was telling them about Brandon, and they were all excited, and they got this brilliant idea that we should go to LA right now, like at 10 o'clock at night, and go meet him. And I'm just like, you guys are nuts. Like, it's 10 o'clock. Why would we go? And I'm like, and they convinced me to get in the car, and I call up Brandon. I'm like, hey, Brandon, can we come over? You know, we want to meet you. And he's like, yeah, I'm having a party right now. There's a bunch of people here, and there's girls. And once my friends heard girls, they were like, oh my God, girls. And so they were excited. So we're like, fine, we'll get in the car. And I was kind of forced into it. So we're driving, and I'm nervous in the passenger seat. I'm like shaking. I'm like, oh my God, why am I doing this? And I just got off work, so I look gross, and I'm like trying to do my hair and makeup in the car. I'm like, I'm not ready for this. And I'm like, the closer we get to LA, the more nervous I get, so I can feel the butterflies, like, argh. It was gross. And like, we finally get off the freeway, and we go down the street, and it was like dark. It was pitch black. And I'm like, this is really sketchy. Like, I don't know what's going on. So I call up Brandon. I'm like, why do you live in such a sketchy area? And where's your house? And he's like, oh no, you took a wrong turn. Like, that's where all the drug dealers and gangsters are. Like, get out of there. I'm like, oh my God. So we're like trying to make a little U-turn, and there's this dog, and it's just kind of like crawling next to the car. And all of a sudden, it decides that it's gonna hurl itself towards the car. So all my friends just start screaming in the car, and just, I don't know what possessed this dog to do that. So we're just like we got out of there, we're just done. So we finally get to Brandon's house, and I'm like really nervous, and we get out of the car, and I'm like trying to put myself up, and we go towards the door, and he comes out, and he's not as attractive as he was in his photos. Like, I guess you could say his selfie game was strong. I wasn't gonna let that ruin it, like I wasn't gonna be shallow, so I was like, okay, let's give him a chance, you know? So we went in the house, and it was not a party. It was like, you lied. There was no girls there, so my friends were upset right from the start. And all his friends were like drunk off their ass playing Super Smash Brothers. And he was not intoxicated, so I think he was a babysitter for his friends. And it was just like, I would try to talk to him a little bit, and he was like, I guess really nervous because he kind of ignored me. And I paid more attention to his cat than him. His cat was really cute. It was like nice and small. So I'm like sitting there like, we need to get out of this situation. So I'm texting my friend from across the room. I'm like, oh, can you like create a diversion to get out of here? Like, so they come up with the idea that we're just gonna say we're meeting another friend, like in Santa Monica or something. And Brandon's like, you guys are leaving so soon? I'm like, yeah. So it was really an awkward experience, and it's really strange. And I guess it was nice to have my friends there, because I wouldn't have been able to get out of that situation by myself. And I'm really glad they were there. Plus, it would have been dangerous to go without friends. So always take a buddy when you meet online strangers. Yeah.